In Salt and Sanctuary, after finding a black pearl, or getting enough salt to produce one, you're able to peruse the Tree of Skill, where you can spend your black pearls in an effort to learn new proficiencies and boost your stats. As you browse potential powers with which to buff yourself, you may have noticed small snippets of stories, both events that have been chronicled in the world of Salt and Sanctuary, and also fairy tales. Here in this short series, I'll present these stories for you, compiled in their intended reading order, as they can provide great insight into the overarching story of Salt and Sanctuary. Cyberphile proudly presents Salt and Sanctuary, Stories from the Tree of Skill. The Tale of Vel Karam. High upon a silver tower above the blighted trees, the legacy of Vel Karam dwelt in mystery. Vel Karam was spoken of in tones of quiet fear. The tongues would change from town to town, the details never clear. Said to be a mighty witch, or sometimes called a kraken, necromancer, demoness, or that which man can't fathom. That Vel Karam became a tale had muddied history, but men who told the tale agreed she was born of the sea. And when she'd traveled to your town, your harvest would be blessed, and not a copper would she take, she'd only ask for rest. So your town would welcome her, an oracle of light, but once their trust in hearts she had, she'd vanish in the night. And when she'd been gone 13 days, a grey mist would come down, and tragedy and misery would wash over the town. 'Twasn't drought or failing crops amid the silver mist, but children maimed but left alive, with limbs cleaved at the wrist. The children's wounds were not of blade, but of a magic dark, stitched and healed and clean of blood, by witchcraft they were marred. So villages from near and far grew in distant shade. Generations bore the mark that Vel Karam had made. Smiths and merchants, farmers too, and the vestment clad, lived full lives dismembered still, shades of Vel Karam. Decades passed, the fable grew, but somehow she walked freely. Guileless towns welcomed her still, so doomed to misery. In one town a hero grew, not knowing his full fate. He'd practice parry, thrusts, riposte, while not at hoe and spade. The hero's name Eggari, of Nort Hamero clan, he bore the evil witch's work, Eggari's missing hand. The bitterness had cursed him not, he dwelt not in the past. He'd not be victim to the crone, her legacy so ghastly. And young Eggari practiced well and grew into a man, a swordsman fierce, a dueler, despite his missing hand. A day into his 19th year, Eggari did embark. In mail with sword, pack supplies, he'd marched into the dark. His journey took him through the woods, through valleys so abyssal. The nights were fraught with dreadful sounds, the days were not less dismal. A crossbow that Eggari built, he used in hunting game, and mushrooms, wild berries, roots he'd gathered to sustain him. A fortnight through the woods of pitch, he came upon a clearing. In the distance rose the spire, he knew what he was nearing. But not a moment had gone by when arrow struck his back. A shout, another, from the trees, an ambush, an attack! Drawing steel with fencing hand, Eggari faced the threat. The one-armed hero scanned the trees, the brigands numbered 10. Arrows flew from every side, but withered at his mail, and he became a whirlwind of blades, a bloody gale. Eggari slashed the throat of one, another he impaled. Opening a third and fourth, the ground grew wet with red. Dodging dirk and wooden club, he hewed and hacked and sliced. An ear, a nose, an arm, a leg, a hand still clutching knife. The routed brigands fled in turn, their number now just 2. Eggari's bow was swifter still, the bolts he loosed flew true. Bloodied but yet resolute, and under light of moon, he tended scrapes and minor wounds, his journey could resume. 3 days of marching again, the spire loomed ahead. Eggari knew just what it was, that wicked witch's stead. The spire's gate was mired in thorns, twisted and entangled. Eggari hacked at branch and thistle, hot with righteous anger. Cold damp stone, overgrown, smeared in ancient grime. Eggari set foot on the stair, and steadily he climbed. The staircase ended 'neath the sky, the ruins of Vel Karam. Eggari came upon a door, wreathed in severed hands. They showed no signs of age or rot, but twitched with life arcane. Tristini, Cadanian, present all the same. Reaching for the door handle, Eggari turned it easily. Those severed hands, yet wreathed in twine, reached at his, but feebly. Creeping into room beyond, a place so black and morbid, Eggari witnessed such a sight, he had seen naught so horrid. Baskets lined the floor below, and twine was strung in banners. Piled in baskets, strung in twine, were scores of severed hands. They twitched and squirmed, touched and grasped, and were they trying to cry? The crone had not just stolen flesh, she'd taken bits of life. In the corner, shrouded, hunched, rocking in a chair. Was it she, Vel Karam, simply sitting there? Witch, I've come to banish thee, thicey realm below. He raised his sword, but faltered when a creaky voice said no. He brought his blade down viciously upon the ragged mess. It fell from chair, a pile of bones, and from behind, a laugh. And there she stood, all veiled in dark, with skin all ghostly white, a maiden young with silver hair, and garments weaved of sky. You've journeyed far, my handsome knight, but now is time to rest. Come, my child, and lay your weary head upon my breast. But Eggari would not be thralled by guile or charm or trick. Bold and steeled he plunged his blade into the witch's neck. Her magic was so powerful, but here it gave no aid. Her lifeblood spilled from gaping wound, and her strength gave way. Her skin, at first so young and fresh, aged before his eyes. Fast decrepit, wrinkled, gray, leaking wicked life. Look at you, you utter fool, she croaked to Eggari. You've doomed them all, the childs I took. Our threads of life were linked. Eggari coiled back in fear, surveilling what he wrought. The hands were quickly growing foul, surrendering to rot. The stench became unbearable, he left that charnel place. Returning from the citadel, he found his home in waste. Those who have lost bits of them to evil Vel Karam has suddenly began to rot from whence they lost their hands. The rotted stumps were spreading quick and took most unaware. A lucky few took blade to flesh, those lucky few were spared. The rest were taken by the rot, a blight so fiercely spreading. Their minds decayed and blind with rage, naught new but hunger pangs. And so the blighted plagued the land, devouring living men, spreading rot that eats the soul, heralding the end. And Eggari, the one-armed knight, the usher of the damned, spent his days atoning, purging, childs of Vel Karam. And when he'd slaughtered every ghoul down to the last man, the living folk did tell the tale of Vel Karam. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more Cyberphile content, and if you liked this video, show me with that little thumbs up button. If you liked this video, you might like one of my other videos. You can click right on the boxes to jump to them. Cyberphile, offline.